Hello everyone and welcome to Caroline's Craft Tree. Today we are going to do Scrappy Time with Caroline again. So today, you can see I've got some gloves on. We are going to do some dyeing. Now I have a whole bunch of these index cards. There are some blue ones lined on one side, blank on the other. Then I have some white ones, the same. These are I think 3x5 or something like that. Then I have a bunch of Rolodex cards. Now these are big ones. They've got some words down and they came all joined together. So I just ripped some of those apart. I've left the little line things on there. And then I've got some regular size Rolodex. And I have some of these garment tags. So what we're going to do is we're going to play at dyeing some of these. Now, due to limited space in the wintertime, in the summer I just do stuff like this outside. And I set up a table and just go to town doing it. But I'm going to do this inside. So I have let's see if I can bring it over to show you. I got a whole bunch of doilies, plastic doilies, etc. I've got some stencils and whatnot. So we're just going to kind of play around. What I'm going to do is lay them out and then put a doily on top, lay some more over top, put a doily on top, and I'm just going to do it, I don't know, 6-7 layers thick. And we're going to see how it turns out. I've got a pie plate with some tea in it. And I have a whole bunch of sprays and inks. I've got some glimmer mist. I have some of this stuff. I've got some fabric dyes, etc. Just to play around with. I'm going to spray some stuff on them just to see what the final picture turns out to be like. So I want to start with some of the blue ones. So I'm going to go ahead and dip them into the tea, and I'm going to just lay them apart. My camera won't go wide enough to actually see my whole tray, but this tray down here is just an extra big cookie sheet type thing, and I'm just dipping these blue cards into my tea just really quick like. I'm not going to be too picky on the whole thing. I want to get these used up, and I have hundreds of them, lots and lots and lots of them. So I thought this way I could do like a mass dyeing of them, even though I can't do it outside right now. It's -10. Last night was -19. That's Fahrenheit or Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. I do live in Canada, so we've had a really nice winter so far, but we just had some cold weather. So this might be a little bit lengthy, dipping all these. I'm going to dip them, and then we'll put the doily on top, and then I'll spray them, and then I'll brush the top with a foam brush. That's what I did when I did my tea-dyed doily papers outside. I love the effect that it gave. So I'm hoping, I'm going to cross my fingers, that I'm going to get a fairly good result with this. It will be really, really hard to know, but you never know until you try, right? And I figured if worse comes to worse, I've got some tea-dyed cards. But I think I will get some pattern from the doilies and stencils. I did do a bit of a video on my tea-dyed doily papers and stuff. And I was so pleased with how those turned out. But those I did not pile up. Okay. So now we've got this here. Just going to pat it down a little bit. This was from like a big tablecloth type thing. It's crocheted, but it's coated with something, so it's a little bit plasticky. So now this here is actually this stuff, but in a blue. But the spray nozzle didn't work, so I put it in here. So let's try it. It's quite a bright turquoise color. But let's see what it does. Okay. And here is my foam brush. Sorry if my arm gets in the way. I'm just going to brush this around a little bit. I can definitely see some of the sparkle that was in that stuff, so that is nice. Not sure if you can see it or not. I don't really care if the colors go through and you know, bleed to another one or something. That part doesn't bother me at all. So let's do some of the white ones now. And I don't leave them in the water very long. Or the tea. My tea is just the cheapest tea I can find. And I use 6 tea bags to a quart of water. I just heat the water up in my kettle. And then I put it into a pot. The boiling water into a pot with my tea bags. I let it steep until I remember that it's there. And then I just put it into a quart jar if I'm not going to use it all right away. As I say, this can be a little bit time consuming. I'm going to keep an eye on my camera to make sure my battery doesn't die. I had to videotape a few videos a second time because part way through I find out the battery died or it was full. It seems to only go for 30 minutes and then it stops and turns itself off. So what I'm going to do with this tray when I'm done is I'm going to put it over one of my heat vents. And then that way it will hopefully dry faster. It might take a day to dry, I'm not sure, but when they are dry, I will come back and show you for sure what the final results were. Okay, next doily. I think this part was the same from the bottom pieces. It was just the center of it. Just going to put it the right way, and let's just put that over top. Give hopefully a grid pattern. And this one is a little bit too big for my tray here, but that's okay. And let's see, what can we put on this one? Let's try something else. Okay, this is a pink. It was a die for doing Ukrainian Easter eggs. Very, very intense color. It was in a powder form, and I diluted it. Unbelievable amount. So let's do some cards in this. And let's do this here one here is the denim clothing dye I had. And it's diluted quite a bit. So let's just spray a little bit. It's kind of almost purplish when it goes on, but okay, let's try that. Now I will brush it again. And I'm not worried about the denim getting on the pink or anything like that. So that's okay. There is our second row. Let's do some of these big Rolodex cards. These, I believe, were fairly old. Somebody gave them to me. I haven't tried tea dyeing any of these. I'm not even sure if I've used any of these in any of my journals yet. But I'm going to be once they are tea dyed. It's another job I have wanted to get done for a while. So they were in my Scrappy cart. So it was time to get things going here and get them done. I don't have a lot of room on my desk, so I have the tea just in a pie plate. I might have said that already. I have used alcohol ink, sprayed alcohol inks on the top to get some of the color on some of my tea-dyed doily papers that I did. I'll try and remember to link that below. Okay, so this one, I've just got this here white doily. I have found my doilies all over the place. I've bought them online. I've ordered them on Amazon. I've found them at thrift stores, yard sales. People have given me them, etc. Some do work, some do not work. So let's see. I have some of this. It's a glimmer mist, and this one is bronze. It's a Recollections. I bought these at Michael's. I went there one day and they had them on really super cheap. So I bought a few different kinds of colors that, oh, that's really dark. Okay. Wasn't expecting it to be quite that dark, but that's okay. By the time we brush it, I think I might try diluting some of that next time I use that. It might be a little too dark for my liking, but you never know. We'll wait until it dries to really find out. Okay, let's do some of the little ones. Now what I'm hoping is that the back side will pick up some of the color and the design of the doily below it. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for at this point. I know this doily here produces really nice papers. I actually found them at a sale that was in a mall. It was some organization had a garage sale in our local mall. And I just happened to be there that day and I found them. So let's do, this is shimmer mist as well. So let's hope that this one works. It's quite an intense color. I have diluted shimmer mist and used it, and it actually worked just fine. So that's an option if, you know, things are a little bit too bright for you. I do dip this foam brush in the tea a little bit, and then it can just spread out that. Okay. Now let's do some of these little tags. Okay, so I did a couple layers off of camera, and I just have done it the same way. I've used a few stencils and a couple other doilies. So this is going to be my last layer, and I probably got 6 layers of things on here, maybe 7. So I'm anxious to see if this blue will bleed into any of the others. And if it does, I think that will look really cool. So on the top of this one, I'm going to put one of my good plastic doilies that I know really makes good coloring on them. And at the end, we will go through all the different ones and see how they all turned out. For you, it'll just be a second, but for me, it'll probably be the next day before they're dry. And it's evening when I'm making this now, so it'll at least be tomorrow when I show. But like I say, it'll only be seconds for you, days for me. This doily here. Okay, now let's spray some of this green. It's nice and bright. And let's see, I've got a little bit of this. It's Shimmer Spritz. And it is a copper. Not sure how much I'll get out of there. It's just about empty. But let's try and use it up. Okay, not getting much more out of that. I've also got this. I have no idea what it is. It is a Smooch Spritz. Perfect for creating shimmer backgrounds on cardstock, etc. I have no idea what color it is. It's kind of a weird black color. Oh, it's giving real, I don't know, I'm sure if you can see this, but just spraying it directly onto the tea. Ooh, that's going to be interesting when it dries. We'll have to remember those couple of little things there. And we've got some pewter colored of the shimmer. Let's put a little bit of that on it too. Let's put that down in this corner. Okay, this one I'm not going to brush the top because this stuff here, and I'm not sure all what you can, if you can see, and I can't read. Let's move this away. Look at the effect that it's making on there. And up on that one. I think that is going to look really, really cool when it dries. So I'm not going to brush that because I want it to stay like that. I have a feeling this might be a winner, that one. And it's left a few really good black dots, which is okay. And over in this corner too, can't move my tray very much further, but it's added some really almost hair-like looking things in with the tea and up through the doily here. So that's going to look really cool because you can see the copper color that I put in plus these black little weird lines. So this is exciting. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to carry this tray and put it on my vent to dry. I'm going to clean up my mess off of camera. And when these are all dry, I'll start the video again and we'll go through them and see what we ended up with the end result. See you in a bit. Okay everyone, I'm back and all my index cards, Rolodex cards, etc. are dry that I know of. I'm not able to check underneath way in the middle, but it's the next day for me, but only a few seconds for you. So let's start peeling off these and seeing what we get. I haven't even looked at them, so it's going to be a big surprise, and so far I'm liking what I see. So there is underneath that doily. Now this, I resprayed it with some green stuff that I wasn't sure what it was, but I think it was alcohol inks. I sprayed it with a little bit of this copper shimmer spritz and also some of this black smooch spritz, it's called. So those turned out really good. Some of them are like really nice. And I did get some transfer from whatever was behind it. So both sides are actually have marks on it. So that is kind of nice. I like that. A couple of the cards that were overlapped are a little bit stuck. Oh, there they come. So these turned out really good. Lots of color, lots of designs. The back side, of course, isn't quite as nice, but and the lines all smudged, but that's okay. So let's gather up these ones. There's some with lots of nice pooling of the water, or the tea and the sprays and whatnot. So, and I can really see quite a coppery color to the background. Not sure how well the camera picks that up, but definitely got lots of design from the paper, that is for sure. Yeah, they have stuck a bit where one was on top of the other, but they are coming off without too much difficulty. Just pulling them apart slow. So that was the first one. So now these ones were the blue cards, and they are actually looking really nice. I really like them. Got a little bit of the copper where I had sprayed, and it was like in between. So there's two little lines of the copper there. But that looks actually really nice. Let's pull these doilies off. Oh, I like those. And had a couple of stencils over in this corner. These blue ones are really nice. Don't mind the back side of these. Now I can't remember what I sprayed. I think I sprayed the turquoise fabric dye on these. But they turned out really nice. I love how they turned out. The lines are totally gone on the blue ones, because there was lines on the back side, but those lines are totally gone. Oh, look at that one. That is pretty. Very pretty. I'm definitely going to do more of these. Wow. So on the back side, there's tends to be more of the actual blue that was on the cards, with a little bit of hint of the stencil and whatnot that was below it. So those are really, really nice. Really, really nice. So those ones had stencils on them. Pull those off. And this one, I can't remember what I sprayed these ones with. I'm thinking it might have been the denim spray. This one's got a bit of red in it. I might have sprayed some of these with the pink as well. That one's stuck pretty good. A few of them I pulled up the paper, but by the time you stick a little something on, it's kind of cool how that did that. These ones are still a bit damp in the middle. So, only that design. That looks really cool. That was right on the corner of a die, or of a stencil. So these ones I will spread out later to finish drying them off. Oh, look at that one. That was on the back. That's the back side of it on a stencil that had writing on it. You can sort of see the writing in the background. So that's kind of cool. But the designs, they came out really good. Well, that one, the word came out really well. Okay. You can see bits of the stencil. Just enough to know that there was something there. But it really picked up the puddles that were on the stencil when I laid the next card. And here is the first look at one of the big Rolodex cards. And here is one of the little Rolodex cards. So those, so far they've all turned out really good. Oh, these ones are nice. I did this with some copperish type of the shimmer mist. And these, you can really see that coppery shine on there. They turned out good. Like these were from where the corner of the stencils were. That one there, you can see some good wording. Not sure what it says because the wording comes out backwards. Have to maybe put the stencil on the other way, put the stencil on upside down. But that looks really nice with that words on there. And I don't know if the shine is really coming through, but it's very shimmery, that is for sure. Not much on the back from this one, but those are like really nice. It would be good to know which ones turned out the best to reuse those. There's lots of color on the back of them. Well, I'm really, really pleased. Really, really. That one is really stuck to the that garment tag. It actually came off pretty good. So let's finish off this row. Yeah, just where the paper was stuck to paper. Wow. This one was sprayed with the bronze glitter mist. It's a Recollections product that I got at Michael's. But that really darkened it up. There's a whole row of these, so they'll be coming along in a second. I hope you're enjoying this project. Wow, these turned out really cool too. These feel like they've stuck a little bit to the doily, but look at the color on those. And the design. And the design on the back from this big gold color doily. Those are really nice. Those certainly liven up a white garment tag, that is for sure. I'm thinking I did some kind of glimmer mist to these ones as well, because I can see the glimmer on there. These definitely are a little harder to peel up off the doily, because they do have a bit of a coating on the outside of these to just toughen them up. I'm not sure if the camera will pick up the glimmer on those. But those are really nice. Thinking I might have to do some of all these to put in the shop now. But these are amazing. But hopefully you remember at the beginning of the video what I sprayed each of them with. Those are nice. Those turned out really good. Okay. So these are... Oh, no. Now maybe I fibbed. It was these ones down here that I sprayed with this. But these are amazing. I'm going to have to look back on the video and see what I sprayed those with. Obviously pink. Either the pink Ukrainian Easter egg dye or the pink fabric. No, it had to be the Easter egg dye. And there's no glimmer to it at all. So that means I didn't use any glimmer mist on these ones. But those are amazing. I think this is almost the best paper dyeing I've ever done. I'm going to try some papers like this next and see what I get. Look at these. Those are amazing. And the back is... wow. So pretty. I'm really excited about all these. Okay, this is the one that I sprayed with the Recollections glitter mist in a bronze color. And look at the color. And the back side was just this grid type. That is absolutely gorgeous. little flecks of like coppery in there. Wow. Not really sure what to say about them. They are totally amazing. Do a bit of a close-up here. Hopefully it's focusing. That is. And even the one that was off the edge is really nice. You could even, once you rip your perforated ends off, you could use those little bits for something too. Wow, those are probably my favorite. And when I was doing them, I'm thinking, oh, they are so dark, they're not going to look very good. But, and then there are these ones. This was definitely sprayed with the pink dye from, I did this side with the pink Ukrainian egg dye, and this side I sprayed with the green fabric dye. I remember that one. And look how they turned out. Those. The line stayed really good on these ones. I am just tickled pink. No pun intended with these ones. They are pink. You can see how intense that pink is from the Easter egg dye. I'm almost out of it too, so I'm not a big pink person, but there's enough brown in there to make it just so nice. Totally amazed. So the last row was the blue cards, and I definitely sprayed it with some shimmer mist because I can see the shimmer. I think I sprayed it with a turquoise dye as well. And those are blue. They are nice. Even the bottom is so blotchy from just being against the cookie sheet. And again on these ones, no, you can see faint lines, but for the most part the lines have disappeared. This one here is a good one. I'm not sure if you can see the glimmer, especially on this side. Those are gorgeous. Gonna have to put some of those in a couple of the journals I'm working on right now. Actually, the color, the pattern of the doily almost came through. And these ones obviously picked up some of the other dyes that were on tops of it, which just adds that much more. Or no, I did spray them. I sprayed with maybe this one, a couple squirts, or some of that other stuff that I had. Yeah, I think I might have made a couple squirts of it on here. Those are just amazing, different colors and designs. Yep, more dye in today, I think. I think I'm going to do another batch of different ones. So keep your eye out because I'm probably going to put some of these in the shop. But it depends on when this video goes up. Well, I am so very pleased with all of these. Let me move this tray out of the way. So we have so many amazing tea-dyed things. Now, can we call these tea-dyed when we use so much other dye on them? But I think this project was a total success. I am going to try some papers like this now and pile them up. Usually them I do just in the summertime, and I put them outside and dry them like in the sun, and have to weight them down with rocks and everything because the wind comes along and sends them flying. But I think this would work on paper as well. I think my tray is big enough to hold 2 papers side by side. So I might even do a little project on that and show you what I do and what comes up with all these. But they are fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll give it a try. I think we could dye the papers with almost anything, just spray them. So I've got some other things that I'm going to try now. You could use diluted distress inks or distress sprays. I'm going to try a little bit more with more alcohol inks. You could use food coloring. I've seen people, they've been buying the little kits at the dollar store for dyeing Easter eggs. That would work. Maybe even different kinds of teas that would produce different colors. The possibilities are just endless. And now that I know that stacking them up like that works, I'm definitely going to be doing more. And these have been, they were sitting for probably about 10 hours, I guess, on the tray over top of my heat vent in my house. We are in the middle of winter here, so the heat doesn't come on a whole ton, and a few of them are still just barely damp. So, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy these. I know the camera doesn't pick up how gorgeous they actually are. But yeah, I'm amazed at them. You can really see this one, how the pattern of the doily that was on top actually came through, because you can see the little grid lines here of the other doily that it was sitting on. So I'm going to go and admire these, and you have a good day. I hope you will subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff. And we will see you again soon. And thanks for watching another episode of Scrappy Time with Caroline. Bye for now.